Hi, I am Zoe, and this is Paranormal Extraction, and I'm an interviewer and much more. I'm so excited today. Again, I'm always excited, but we have Shetan Noir on today, and we're going to be talking about protection and how to use it in the paranormal. Now, she also has 2 books on which we're going to be talking about today, and she'll be discussing that as well. So I'm really excited. She's been on my show before, so you can just scroll down and you'll see her, and or ask me afterwards, or I'll mention it in the write-up I do. Okay? So let's go say hi. Hey, girls, good to see you again.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Thank you so much for coming on. I mean, this is something that's very, very important, obviously, since, I do a lot of paranormal, and very, very important for other paranormal people to know about because they don't do this.
Right, and so with protection magic or herbs, general stones, stuff like that, people dismiss the protective qualities of it, and yet every paranormal investigator should keep something on them that puts up a barrier of protection so that entities cannot attach to them or attack them or negatively affect them. So I have been working with folk magic, hoodoo magic, for over 20 years, and that is my background for protection magic.
Right, and you have 2 books, if someone wants to go. I mean, besides many, many other books, you have 2 particular books that go with this. And what are
my first book that I wrote on folk magic is Sticks and Stones, and that really gives you the basics of folk magic and how to craft your spells, what different herbs are used for, what different colors stones are used for, and it gives you a general cookbook of spell work on how to craft spells in order to use them for what you want to manifest or create in your life. And then I have another book called Intro to Hood Magic, which is more of an urban type book where some of these spells that are out there, or spell books, call for ingredients that I don't know if they were ever readily, available to go cultivate or buy. So I give you a much more practical approach of how to do the spell work and what you can use in place of some of the more odd and unreachable ingredients.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. I know, because a lot of herbs that I ever went to go get are very, very hard to get. And, some of them you can get at like a local metaphysical store. But luckily in town here, we have an herb shop. And they have everything. And that's all they have. So it's more easily to find. Plus you can order from them.
Right.
Or Amazon, right? I mean, what isn't what isn't on Amazon, and what is it really, right?
Right.
So tell me, why don't you tell me a couple of the things that you would use or during this, or tell other people to protect themselves with?
So we'll start out talking with the herbs or the plant matter that you can use for protection magic. And everybody knows about white sage, but white sage, unless you go to a metaphysical store and you're actually buying white sage, and it's not white sage on the outside and filler on the inside.
Wow.
White sage,
they do that?
Some places do, because most people just concentrate on what's on the outside, which is white sage. But white sage is a very hard plant to grow, and it produces very well wildly, but it's very hard to cultivate as a garden plant. They really don't go to seed very well, and depending on what climate you live in, they may not grow for you at all. So white sage has always been everybody's go-to protection plant, and I get it it has antimicrobial properties, and it pushes everything out of its environment with the smoke that it creates. But there's other herbs in plant matter that are just as strong and just as useful in protection magic as white sage. Now, herb-wise, 3 of your best protection herbs are lavender,
Yeah.
rosemary,
Mm-hmm.
and holy basil.
Yes, I've actually, and I don't know, you can tell me what you think of this, but I've actually gone into my cupboard to find some different herbs. Is that something you would suggest, or?
You can, as long as it's, I would say if you grow it yourself, or if you buy it for culinary cooking purposes,
Right.
then it's probably, good to use for protection magic. Another big one actually I think it's even more powerful than white sage, is peppermint. And that's because peppermint
Really?
is
Wow.
available, and peppermint, the oil is so easy to extract from it that even when you buy the little peppermint hard candies, that's got 100% peppermint oil in it.
Wow.
So if you're in a paranormal location and you feel like you're being affected, if you feel like something is attaching to you, carry peppermint candies in your pocket, and as soon as you feel that, or you notice somebody else being affected, you give them a peppermint candy and you say, suck on this, chew on this, swallow it, and now that person has protective,
Wow.
energy inside them. And even when I come home from a haunted location or doing an investigation, I usually will run a bath and put a peppermint tea bag in the water, and that actually just strips all the negative energy off of you and cleans the attachments right off of you, and then they wash down the drain and they're gone.
Wow. Okay, so that's actually the first time I've ever heard about peppermint, because I use sage, and then I do cedar, and then I do I can't believe I don't remember the last one. Oh,
Frank.
come on. No, not frankincense.
No.
Oh well, okay, I'll bring it up again. Anyways, I use sweetgrass. Sorry.
Okay.
So I do 3 different things. One is to get rid of, and I'm just asking you because you're the professional. I use the sage to get rid of the negative energy. The cedar I use to get rid of any attachments or anything in my home that's absolutely a negative entity or something like that. And then the sweetgrass, I pull in all the positive into the home or the environment or myself. Is that something? Am I doing that right, or?
Yeah. Those are good elements to use. Also, you mentioned the cedar, but you can also use dried white pine needles. Those have a very protective
Right.
quality to them, and will if you're into making your own smudging sticks, you can do a combination of any of those. You can do like the white sage and cedar and lavender, or put in rosemary or peppermint. Yeah. But you can mix all 3 of those together as a bundle. You have to make sure that they're dried fairly well, because otherwise they won't burn and won't smudge.
Yeah, I've used those before. I've done that and made my own. The only problem is that, and I want to bring this up, was when you wrap it, it was hard for me. I was using the wrong string or something like that, so it was coming apart. When I was burning it was burning part of that, and then it was kind of coming apart. Also, go ahead and tell me about that before I move on to the next question.
Oh, I was gonna say, you can embroidery thread works great for doing saging bundles.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you.
And that's you can get that at almost any craft store in any color of the rainbow that you want. So
well, you can also get that at Walmart.
Yeah.
Which is great. Okay, now these are two things that I do. First of all, when I'm doing a saging, or they're gonna, because these people aren't gonna really know, okay, let's just say they don't really know, and then they're gonna use a different or other elements that you're speaking about. I think that's what you called them. What I do is I have a big shell that I use. And in order to light, like if you're using, let's just say, pine needles, okay, like you discussed,
Right.
you need the black charcoal. And to light that, this is what I do, is to light the black charcoal. It's a little piece, and you can buy them on Amazon, I know for sure, or a metaphysical store.
Yeah.
I light that. I wait for that to, get grayish and then red, and then I will take my stuff and put it in there, and let it burn from that. Or if I have sage, I have burned, okay, my clothes. I've burned holes in my couch and flooring, and I have learned that I must hold that shell when I light that sage with the lighter, that it's got to be over the top of that shell. Okay?
Right.
Or I've used sand on the bottom of a smaller thing, so that way then I can put it out when it's done. I just stick it deep into the sand. Now, is that how you do it?
That is a good approach to doing it. When I'm doing mine, I mostly, if I feel like something is attaching to me, then I will just do it outside and smudge myself outside. You can also any of those herbs you can also get as a oil form.
Yes.
And anoint your clothes with the oil.
Love it. I absolutely love that, because
you can also,
yeah.
if you feel like if you feel like something has entered your home, you can take all of those protection herbs and put them in a pot, boil the water, and so you get the herbs broken down, strain that into a container to cool, and then put it in a spray bottle, and then just go around your house, spraying the house with that. Make sure your windows and doors are open, because you have to give the spirits a way to exit the home. But you go around the house, you start at your farthest room, and you work your way forward, spraying each room with that mixture, and it will push the negative spirits out. You can also mist yourself with it, your car with it, and that puts up a physical barrier that is protection.
Okay, I got a quick question. Counterclockwise, I do around my house, correct? Is that correct?
If you're really into ritual and routine, you can do it that way. Most people just start at the farthest room and work your way forward. Think as if you're mopping a floor with a wet mop, and you don't want to go back over the areas that walk on the areas that you've already mopped. So you work from the far corner out the door, and that's what you do with the protection sprays.
Okay, yeah, that's what I do. Now, another really important thing is, and I love the fact that you said to go outside. For some reason, when I've saged so many times, I haven't been outside, when I'm doing it. And sometimes in the winter time, you can't open the windows. I mean, it's so cold here. So, first of all, I love the fact that you go outside to sage yourself, okay? But let's just say it's winter, and you can't, I've done that, and the house gets pretty damn cold. What would you recommend if you can't open the windows?
Okay, so if you can't smudge yourself with the smoke, then you can still run a hot bath.
Okay.
And put those get the self, the tea bags that you can make yourself, or even the very fine netting baggie.
Yeah.
And put the herbs in there, throw it in your bath water, let it steep, and then get in there and rinse yourself with that water several times. And you're doing the same thing as the smudging, but you're doing it in bath form with liquid. And then you let that, drain out of the bathtub, and you're fine. You can always follow that up with, if you're worried that something's going to stay in your bathtub, bleach is a very good deterrent for demons. They do not like bleach. So you can always clean your bathtub with bleach afterwards.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I absolutely love it. I am getting a lot out of this because, question. I'm on a location. There is no windows, okay? There is nothing, and I'm using sage. And I can't take a bath. Would you recommend the peppermint then for me to use?
Yes,
Okay.
peppermint you can carry with you. You can eat it. You can put it. You can take the peppermint candies, put it in an iced tea, and now you've got peppermint tea that you can sip on all evening long. So you have a constant, shield of protection around you. You can get the peppermint oil and put that on your clothing. And then you've got the protective elements of that. So yes, you can also combine the peppermint oil with lavender, cedar oil, white sage oil, and put that in a spray bottle with some water and mist yourself down with that, mix yourself with that. And that gives you also a barrier of protection.
Okay, you're gonna find this funny because in my car door, you get those little travel size, and this is what I recommend. Well, I used to have my own metaphysical shop, so I used to make a lot of this stuff, okay? But you're telling me, you're way more, you got 2 books out and everything else, so you're way more informed than I was. But, so I put the distilled water in it, and then I do, it's called aromatherapy, just in case people don't know, and you guys aren't sure how to find these oils. You can go to aromatherapy, right?
Right.
Okay. And so I have 5 different bottles in my car for whatever I need that day. Like if I wanted prosperity, or if I want to calm down, I use lavender to calm down.
Right.
Then I really I use a ylang-ylang, a lavender, and something else, and I put that in a spray bottle for kind of a feminine energy type of thing. So people can also buy those little spray bottles for a travel thing. But yeah, I've got 4. So it just depends on what day it is. So you're using oils, you're using herbs. What else? We're going to talk about stones.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
So stones now. There seems to be a good rock store in every major city or county. So it's easy to go rock hunting now and get your protection rocks. Now a lot of people will say stick with the black stones for protection.
Right.
And that is a good,
like onyx or obsidian.
Yep, or jet, or black tourmaline. Those are good, thick, stones to start out with. But you can also program quartz crystal to be very protective. And what you can do with that is you can get the whatever size quartz you want and put it in a jar of protective herbs and let that sit for 1 full moon cycle.
Okay,
meaning a full moon to the next full moon, it charges with those protective energies, and then you can carry that stone with you. And because it's absorbed those energies, that's what it's programmed to do, is protect. You can also, if you think that any of your stones have become contaminated or they're carrying too much junk on them. You can always put them in a container of sea salt.
That's what I do.
And let that, suck all that bad energy back out of it. You can expose them to the full cycle of the moon.
Yeah.
You can put them in a fresh running, body of water that is going to clean the negative energy away from them. You can also bury them for a period of time, which sends that energy back into the ground, and then you bring them back up. Other good stones to use are amethyst.
Wait 1 second, I have one question.
Okay.
Now, I use only plastic or glass if I'm doing it with the water and putting the sea salt in it. Never anything like aluminum or a pot. Now, do you agree with that or not?
Plastic containers are fine. Everybody's got that Tupperware,
Yeah.
Container sitting there. And the thing about magic is you make it work for you. And you don't have to have a big elaborate altar and, pantry full of items to be good at this spell work. All you need is what you need. And if that means you've got a sprig of rosemary and a quartz crystal and a peppermint candy, then that's what you work with. You don't have to go all out. You just have to, you have to find a way to make it work for you. And easy is good. Everybody thinks that protection magic or any type of magic has to be this big, elaborate, long.
Yes.
And it's like, no, actually you don't. Because if you put your energy into what you're doing and you believe that these stones, this herb, this color will grant me protection or bring me prosperity or heal me or, whatever, that's what it's going to do.
Exactly. Now, I place a big piece of obsidian by my front door. And I use that for protection of going in and out. Can someone do that?
Because not everybody can go get a big piece of obsidian, but what you can do is in front of each one of your doors that enters in or out of your house, you can put down a line of sea salt.
Yeah, yes, I have, but boy, that can get
get
a little messy.
You're doing it on the outside.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the outside, okay.
On the outside, because when you're entering in a home, you are entering from the outside in. And you want to stop it before it comes through your doorway. So putting up a barrier along the bottom of your door before somebody walks into it, if you put up a line of sea salt, even if the rain comes and melts that down and it goes down into the ground, it's still there.
Oh, great. Okay.
And it just absorbs into the ground, and then it becomes a permanent barrier. You do have to renew it every, once in a while. But if that's up, then it is a very strong barrier of protection. You can also put, if you're into gardening or you like to have potted plants, plant yourself some peppermint and basil and rosemary and stuff like that by the front door. The energy that puts off by itself will help keep negative energies or entities from entering your home.
Right. So let's just say, because I want to let people know also that they can get these stones at a metaphysical shop, or they can also get these online.
Yes.
And just so, if they want to know where to get this stuff. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, I love the whole peppermint candy thing. I've actually never heard of that, and I just absolutely love that because it's so simple, and you're making this simple. And, one thing I loved about what you said is that this can be easy. It doesn't have to be this big altar. So if you go into a metaphysical shop, okay, you're going to, if you wanted to do everything, okay, that they tell you to do and all the stuff, you're going to be spending $1,000 at least,
Oh, yeah.
to put on your altar. So, you know, I like this because it is so simple. It is what I like to do because I believe in the same thing that you're speaking about right now, and that is kind of what's available and what's fast and what people can do, and it's realistic, you know, it's very realistic. So I just love this peppermint thing. I can't get off of it. Okay, so let's just say, because this has happened to me before, maybe it's because I didn't need peppermint. I actually don't investigate. What we used to do when my shaman was alive, what we worked together, was one time I was in a situation where, you know, because to prepare to go out to do these things, I have to do a lot of spiritual work, okay, before to prepare myself spiritually to go out, and I wear certain things, a lot of big onyx pieces, and I have my own little kit that I bring with me. But one time I was in a hurry because I had to be. I was on radio, and someone came in that we interviewed, and then the owner of the station wanted to go into more stuff and show some dark, you know, stuff. He wanted to do this stuff with the person I was interviewing. Anyways, and the story is on YouTube. It was absolutely horrific. But I'm just going to go really quick. Because I wasn't protected, because I had none of those things, I was definitely, I had a very malevolent spirit come into me. And the funny thing, and when I was done, I just went to my car and I was crying and crying and crying because I could feel the pain and all this stuff. And, you know, I got home and I was so tired because we were doing the show from like 2 to 5 in the morning, okay? And I had to sleep, you know, it was like, I couldn't, you know, even think of that. And I actually forgot. And it was a few days later that I realized, oh my God, I have this attachment. So what I did, and because I do a lot of stuff spiritually, I don't know if you do this stuff or not, but I imagined a big vac for some reason, and different things come in all the time. It could be something different. But it was like a big vacuum cleaner that went over the top of my head and just sucked it out. Once I realized, because like really weird things were happening to me, I was acting weird, okay, it was one thing, and strange things were happening. But, so let's say that you do bring one home. I know you said you're going to use immediately if you feel that you have one, or let's just say that you don't really know. Would you still do this process immediately, or you know? Okay, so
yeah, if you're going to do anything with the paranormal, if you're going to investigate, if you're going to go to events that you know are paranormal, even if you go to the cemetery just to walk around and take pictures, or to do gravestone rubbings, you're exposing yourself to paranormal attachments. And so it's just a good housekeeping practice if you go to locations that you know are haunted and that there's the potential for anything to attach to you and come home, or if you're around people that you don't trust, you know, because you don't know how to behave with the paranormal, then it's just a good housekeeping practice to, as soon as you get home, take that peppermint bath, strip that stuff away from you, make yourself some peppermint tea, drink that, or eat some peppermint candy. You can even eat the York peppermint patties.
Yeah, oh, come on, man, I love those. Those are so good.
And you can strip that up. You know, you can, if you want to make it more elaborate, get very up. Like, you know, there's a Russell Stoker store that I go to nearby, and they always have the chocolate peppermint, you know, bark or candies. So I will buy a literal case of those, when I go there, and then I put them in the freezer, and then I know that if I need them, I have them in there.
Yeah.
If I need something more than just the peppermint candy, and you can do that as a self-indulgence. You can use that, the peppermint and chocolate to make a hot chocolate, or use peppermint tea and put hot chocolate mix in it. You can make it more elaborate if you want, but the simple fact is peppermint works. And you can eat peppermint. You can wear peppermint oil. You can grow the peppermint yourself. Even if you just have a small patio garden, you can grow peppermint. Peppermint grows like grass. It grows everywhere.
Right.
Even up here in Michigan, where we have, cold temperatures, peppermint will grow. It grows in the wild. It grows, domesticated. It grows. So peppermint is something that is always readily available, whether it's growing out, in your garden, or you just go to the Dollar Tree and buy a bag of peppermint candies. It's something that's always available, and you can use it in whatever form it's in.
Yeah, I love it when it's fresh and I'm just out walking. I always eat just the leaves. I'll eat the leaves. When they're just, all of a sudden I'll find a bush of it, and then I'll eat the leaves. So that's just absolutely wonderful. I love that, and I mean that is so easy. That is going to help so many people with protection. I mean, it's simple. I mean, the bottom line is it's simple. I think they even have peppermint cough drops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peppermint is. They even have peppermint mouthwash, so you can And actually, if you want to break it down, you could use the peppermint mouthwash in a spray bottle and use that, because not only does it have the peppermint oil in it, but it's antimicrobial, it's antibacterial, and it's antiseptic, so that will also clear things out of, your home, your car, off of your personal being. So
wow, peppermint toothpaste.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I'm definitely going to be buying a lot of peppermint. It's interesting you say that, because I buy peppermint cough drops, so there must be a reason why I'm buying peppermint cough drops. And that's how I do it. So, is there anything else that you want? Because you've made this so simple. I just absolutely love it. Okay.
Well, another thing that we should discuss is colors. And a lot of people think that black is the best protection against any negative energies. And it can be, but also it can be also very inviting. Because what absorbs negative energies better than the darkness? Black is darkness. So, about 10 years ago, I had heard, while I was down in New Orleans, people talking about hate blue. And I finally had to ask, what is hate blue? And people would point at the interior of these porches that were painted this really pretty, almost teal color, teal blue, a greenish blue with some black in it, and mixed together. And they said that's teal, or that's the hate blue. And so I asked more questions about it, and apparently it's a well-known practice down in Louisiana that if you don't want negative energies to come into your home or into your being, you paint the interior walkway before somebody enters your home in this paint blue, this teal blue,
right,
or you wear that color. So I embraced that color, and it's my hair is that color, my nail polish is that color.
Your hair,
my clothing, my food, everything is a teal blue because it has a very strong protective energy to it, and it combines green, which is prosperity and good fortune, with blue, which is very healing and very peaceful. It's also very dominant in color. but it's also mixed with either a black for darker shades or a white for lighter shades. And those white and black both have protective elements to it. So you're combining with Heat Blue, you're combining all of the very good aspects into something that is positive and a protective element. And it works very well. Certainly the people in Louisiana and New Orleans, which is like the voodoo hoodoo capital of the world, they know what they're talking about when they paint everything, you know,
Right.
with that color, and they wear it. Other good colors to wear, bright yellow is a very positive, very uplifting color, and it will act as a repellent towards negative energies. Bright pink is also a very good one because pink represents love and affection, all of the better qualities of romantic, you know, feelings, but it also is a very joyful color and will, you know, act as a protective. Any shade of purple. Purple is always considered a color of royalty and a color of authority and being very regal, being very majestic. So that color is also very good to use as protection against negative entities. You will notice that most clergy either wear white, black, or purple.
Right, and I just want to let you know something. Your iPhone over there, or whatever you're using, is sometimes the you know, verbiage is very clear, and other times it's kind of staticky.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you know, because you know me, I don't edit or anything on this.
Okay.
So just in case somebody wants to, you know, you can't really hear her, just keep watching, okay, because you might hear something in the colors that may have been kind of muffled, okay? I have a question for you. I mean, I know that you just said that about the priest, and that is true, but let's just say, okay, I am the only thing I have in my closet when I go out is black or white, okay? That's, I do have brought in some other colors, but I generally wear those when I'm doing like a workout or taking my dogs out. So I'm doing that more. And I'm usually always in my home, okay? Because I mean, that's where we're doing things, right? I mean, you're doing them there, you're writing books or whatever. I'm interviewing, I'm pre-interviewing and all that stuff. Now, okay, so let's just say that you are a very black or a very white person. Can you take one of those pieces or of color, can you put it like down your bra, or can you carry it in your pocket? Is any of that going to help, or is it only going to help if you wear it?
Generally, I suggest either having like a t-shirt in that color or even jewelry with, you know, that colored stone in it.
Okay.
Will help. If you wear just white or you wear just black, then you make those work for you because they are both very strong colors for repelling the negative energies. But you also have to put your mindset that the color that you're wearing is your shield, and that is your protection. So if you believe that black is a protective color, then that's what your mindset has to be. That black is a very protective color. It's going to conceal me, and it's going to keep anything from attaching to me. The same with white. If I'm wearing white, then white is such a pure color that nothing bad can attach to it or ruin it. So you just have to keep that mindset that these colors protect me, and that's why I'm wearing them.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, you know, I was like vacillating. Am I going to wear black or am I going to wear white? And I decided no. I mean, last night I said no, white. And then today I was like, no, black. And then I just kind of looked at my stuff and I went, no, absolutely white. So, like, you know, I mean, it's just kind of funny. but I couldn't hear because you were muffled. I want to know about what the colors that you're talking about for protection. I just couldn't understand, or I couldn't hear.
Sure.
It was muffled.
So,
what could I use? Could I put that on me with the colors I'm wearing? Or do I have to definitely have on a teal shirt or teal socks I could wear, right?
you could wear teal, you could wear colored socks, that would be fine. You can wear a patterned, shirt or whatever that has elements of that color in it. You can wear jewelry or a scarf that has that color in it and still get, the protective elements of it.
Right. Wow. Okay. So okay. So that's great. I have not heard about the colors. So we touched on herbs, stones, colors. Is there anything else that you'd like to bring up?
So, depending on what your faith base is, you can always, the Psalms are very powerful.
Yeah.
The Psalms in the Bible. And different people have different Psalms that appeal for them. I have always, the Psalm that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
I will fear no evil.
Yeah. So you can actually write that out on a piece of paper and carry it in your pocket.
Right. Okay. I use Archangel Michael's prayer.
Yes, you can do that.
So,
you can use the Lord's Prayer.
Yes.
You can set your own prayer or affirmation. And when you're in a situation where you think that something is attacking you, or I'm talking paranormal, not physical, not a human attacking you, but you're in a situation where you're being paranormally attacked, or it's a negative entity, start saying your affirmation or the Lord's Prayer or one of these Psalms, and that puts up a protective, you're speaking the protective, essence of protection. You can also go through King Solomon's the sigils and find which one appeals to you for protection, because there's various ones for protection. And you can learn that sigil, and you can draw it on the floor, you can draw it on the walls with just your finger, you can draw it in the air with just your finger.
Right.
And that a protective element around you.
Okay,
you
now,
can also,
a lot of people don't know what sigils are. Do you discuss that in your book?
I do. A sigil you can even create your own sigils.
What is a sigil? What is a sigil? Just so people understand.
A sigil is a drawing that represents to you what you're asking for. So you could take the word protection, and you can cross out all the duplicate letters in it, and the letters that you have left behind, you can use those letters to form a drawing, taking different pieces of it, and you do that enough times, you know what it looks like, and you can draw it from memory, or you can just carry it with you. Draw it on a piece of paper and keep that with you when you go to paranormal locations. A sigil is just a drawing with a circle around it that represents to you either protection or peace or healing or love, whatever you are hoping to accomplish with it. That is its reason for creation, and that sigil becomes your very own, and then you use it for those necessities.
That's fantastic. So that's why priests do the Holy Cross thing. That would be the same thing as you're discussing then. if somebody wanted to use that, they could put a circle and they could put a cross in the middle, and that would work. So that's simple.
Yes.
Because they can make, I just was into sigils, and boy, they can make it very, very complicated.
They can, but it doesn't have to be. You could make a circle with a cross.
Right, yeah. I'm just saying that if someone wants to look into them, it's crazy, you know what you have to do. And actually, I've never heard of what you're talking about in any of the stuff that I've read. No one's just said, okay, draw a circle and you can put this inside. No, I mean, it's complicated, You can
also draw a circle on the ground and step into the middle of it and draw a circle above you. And that is a protective, you put yourself in a protective shield.
I love that. Okay, wow, that's great. What's next on the list? Anything else?
Well, we've covered herbs, we've covered plants, we've covered
stones,
colors, and sigils. Going back to the stones, amethyst is also a very good gem that's readily available everywhere. Almost every place that sells gemstones has amethyst. And that is also a very, very good protective stone.
Yeah, I actually wear a lot of them. Wear different stones. I have different stones. And then I was going to ask you about this because what's the name of that stuff calcite. Someone, and I've never ever done this before, but they bought me a big round piece of calcite. And they told me that when I'm feeling like I need to have my stone cleansed, that I wear, because actually right now we have so many around it ready to go on when the other ones come off because it's not that big. Would that work? Is that something that's going to work? I'm just wondering because
there's different shades of calcite, so you would have to check and see which one has protective energies. I know that the clear one has protective energies. It's also an amplifier, so it can amplify that protective energy. You can also use tiger's eye is a very strong protective energy. Bloodstone is a very strong protective energy. So when you go into like the rock shops, most of them have little cards that tell what the protective
they do
is, and you just you can just look through those. But your good ones to start out with is like the black onyx, the black jack, black obsidian, black tourmaline, your clear quartz, amethyst, tiger's eye. Those will all, if you have a pocket full of those, then and you don't have to have a huge one. You don't have to have a 10 pound rock that you drive around with you. So then that, you carry in your pocket, can give you just as much protective energy.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Yeah. And I do use a lot of that, but I wear it. I wear whatever stone I'm kind of decide that I want to wear, which is kind of odd because I went for howlite. And I've never worn howlite before. And do you know about howlite?
Howlite is the fake version of turquoise.
Fake?
Yes. Howlite is a manufactured.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh my God. So they're selling this as a stone.
So
okay.
If you go to Michael's and you go into where they have the beads and stuff like that, anything that looks like turquoise or anything that is got that veining in it, look very closely at the card and it will say howlite on it.
Right.
And it is a manufactured stone that is supposed to look like either white turquoise or blue turquoise.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so we're talking about a fake stone here then.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
There
property.
is white turquoise. There is white turquoise. It's very rare.
Yeah.
But the howlite, that's what turquoise actually is more expensive per gram than gold.
Oh my God. I didn't know that. Wow.
So, for them to sell a strand of turquoise bead at Michael's for like $6.99 or something like that, no, it's howlite. It looks turquoise, but it's not. It's a man-made, manufactured material.
Okay, well, for me, I would.
Looks really nice as beads.
For me, yeah, I wouldn't suggest that because I wouldn't trust the turquoise either, that it could be manufactured as easily as you're talking about.
No, the colors of it, so we step away from looking at it as a metaphysical property for a stone, but the colors of it, white or turquoise blue, those are very protective colors. So the color of it is still beneficial.
Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that a lot. But wow, you just amazed me about howlite. I mean, here the whole time I'm thinking, you know, I was looking up howlite because I was really attracted to it and this and that, and then now I'm finding out this, which personally I don't like. Okay, I mean the color. I'm gonna have to look at the color and now kind of change my whole attitude about why I'm wearing it. So that's really a drag because you know what else I bought? A huge string of beads. And so I guess when I have all black on, I'll wear the white. Oh my gosh. Okay. So moving on, anything else that you want to discuss?
Well, I mean, we could spend hours talking about the different elements of it, but as a broad basic, those will keep you pretty good with being protective, and if nothing else, if you can only remember peppermint, you know, the color pink, blue, black, or white, and a quartz crystal, then you're fine.
I just think it's absolutely fabulous. This has been a great show, okay? Because you haven't gone off into La La Land. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm in La La Land.
He says he is in La La Land. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, is that you've made this so simple. And, you know, I've had just a few people come on, and I always say what I'm going to say, but it's kind of like, what? You know, you've made this just so easy and so simple that anyone in the paranormal is going to be able to grasp onto this in one way or another, which is absolutely fantastic because you're giving out some information that is rarely discussed. Rarely.
Right.
It's all about
and the color black, but there's much more to it than that, and you can diversify your protection, portfolio with other things, and it's more beneficial because not every entity that you run into is going to be affected by or be threatened by white sage or the color black. You can also, it's also very easy to get a vial of holy water and carry that with you. And nowadays, you can go to like the Dollar Tree and get little glass vials that you can make into jewelry. And you put some holy water in that, and you wear it as a necklace, and that gives you a very protective element.
Okay, you're going to find this interesting. I make my own holy water.
Okay.
But, I've got to there's a whole process, and then I got to put it in a closet and do all this weirdness. I wouldn't suggest it for anyone else because it's so easily and readily available. But I wanted to try it, and it's a pretty interesting process.
Well, it's an easier process, and nobody throws shoe at me, but if you go into a church, you don't even have to go to where they have the holy water. You can simply walk into the bathroom and turn on the faucet and fill your vials there. Because one of the things about a church is the whole church is blessed.
That's absolutely great info for people. I mean,
The
absolutely.
whole church, the ground it stands on, to the last brick that built it, to everything that goes inside of it is blessed.
That is absolutely fantastic. That's fantastic to hear about that. That's I've never heard that either.
So,
yeah.
holy water is a lot easier to get than what most people realize. And if you are, if you're a church member or you do go to church, it's not asking very much of your pastor, your preacher, your rabbi, whoever, to hold a small vial of water in their hands and bless it.
Right. Yeah.
It's a good question. They should not have any questions about that. And if they do, you just say, you know what, I feel a better sense of calm and security having a vial of holy water with me.
Right. Okay. All right.
And so, but like I said, you can walk into any bathroom in a church and fill a vial with, from the sink with the holy water, because as a whole, the whole church is blessed, and the water is in the church, coming through the church. And then it's actually running water, so it's even more clarified and more protective. So you can just go that route.
Wow. I mean, this is some really great info. I love it. I love it when people come on and make it simple. Okay, it's simple. And what you've given us is simple things to do that if you don't do them, you're a jerk, okay? And I find you absolutely amazing because, I don't know what kind of brain you have, but you should be on Jeopardy. So, okay, why don't we tell them about the 2 books again?
Sure. They are, if you go onto Amazon and type in my name, Shetan Noir, ShetanNoir, on Amazon, that will bring up all the books that I have written. And there's also a couple other books on there. There's To Fight Fire with Fire, which is more about protection magic.
Okay.
And, but that, it is a broad, of protection magic from all different aspects, not just the paranormal, but different elements of protection magic. So that one is a very good one. And then there is also a prosperity magic book called The Other Side of the Coin.
Right.
All of those are available on Amazon, and you can order them directly from there.
Right, and they can also see that you have an amazing amount of stuff on cryptids. And you also have a magazine that comes out quarterly on that.
I have 4 magazines that come out quarterly. There's Squatch GQ magazine, there's Cryptozoology Digest, there's Into the Liminal Abyss Paranormal magazine, and Dinosauria and Prehistoric Creatures magazine.
Okay, and I know you never sleep. Okay, well, you know what? I think we've given them enough to where their mind isn't going to be all jumbled around. I just want to say, geez, I appreciate this because I'm definitely going to be referring to this video quite a bit because it's absolutely needed. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
This was just absolutely fantastic. And I hope everybody out there has enjoyed this. And I know that you have, and your mind's probably blown too. But if you have any questions, you can always ask me, okay? Paranormalextraction@gmail.com, real simple. or wherever I post. You can do that too. So we are going to sign off and say thank you again. And I want everybody to be blessed today. Bye-bye, Shetan.
Bye.